Hi everyone, we have got another very tasty looking little sweet treat today from Agotapop's download sheet, which you can purchase for 10% off using my code in the description. Now we have what I think this is a couple of scoops of ice cream. I firstly thought it might have been a chocolate in a very pretty wrapping, but because there's two, we've got a little wafer, I'm thinking ice cream. Now I've been using a different type of pencil, a brand for every picture. So for this picture I've got my Derwent Lightfast pencils, so it's quite a different brand, expensive ones. But if you have any Derwent pencils you might be able to match up the colours, I would imagine. So let's get started. I'm actually going to start with our little wafer up here. We've done a couple of these on this page before, so I'm just trying to look and see what colour might work best as the base out of these pencils. I'm probably going to use the brown ochre to start with, and just do a sort of basic layer, and then we'll think about those little tiny indentations in the wafer. Never a big fan of wafers, to be honest. I like this sort of, when you get an ice cream cone, you can get the old-fashioned wafer, which I was never that keen on. But you can also get what they call a waffle cone. I'm going to use the Van Dyck brown, I think. It's not too dark, but it's not too reddish. So yes, the waffle cone. I just noticed my light isn't on. There we go. And it's a nice, this one isn't very sharp. I'm just going to do the bits in the middle, okay, with this. I find it a nicer cone, better quality somehow. It's more sugary, which obviously is nicer. So that's why I used to go for those. And sometimes they even made them with the chocolate coating inside, and they were nice. And then when you got to the very bottom of the cone, and once you'd eaten all your ice cream, you might find that right in the bottom corner there might be a little bit of chocolate right down in the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to leave that like that. I think that's fine. But I think these two pieces are like chocolate straws type thing. Not straws, I don't think they're hollow. Actually, like matchmakers, I suppose. And we have a colour called chocolate, which is a really dark brown. I think it'll be perfect. I'm going to do these in a similar way to how I did the chocolate straws in our cupcake. I'm calling them straws again, and not really. So a nice dark edge, and then a little lighter towards the middle. We do want some colour on all of it, but just to make it look like it's more rounded in shape. We can do the same with this one. This almost looks black, it's so dark. I think it's a little bit dark. It's very dark chocolate. There we go. So hopefully you can see it looks a little rounded. I can't see on my screen because there's some writing. Just move it, yeah. There's some writing in the top corner of my screen. Okay. Now we have our two circular scoops of ice cream, is what I think they are. We're a little short on pastel shades in this set of pencils, so I'm thinking hard about what to do. I think I'm immediately drawn to the heather, which is quite a light sort of pinky tone, and I'm going to use that for this back one. And hopefully it will look like like lavender ice cream. Maybe it's this cherry, black cherry, that's it. I mean, it's not that dark, and I don't think it would be. So yeah, black cherry with, these look like licorice, they're so dark. You could have licorice in ice cream though, couldn't you? Apparently black cherry and licorice goes well together, according to Nigella Lawson. She's a TV chef, for those of you, or TV cook, she's not a trained chef, for those of you who don't know who she is. So who am I to argue with her? Now we have these stripes, and I'm thinking that they are, it's like a sort of drizzle of some sort of sauce, and I'm thinking underneath them, I've grabbed my heather again, there might be a little bit of a shadow there, because if we look, they're sort of three-dimensional blobs, drizzles, I don't know. Anyway, so now the sauce, I'm thinking this colour is a good one. This is called Deep Rose. It's a rather sort of very deep pink, and I'm thinking if we had a sort of black cherry sauce on them, that would be just the right colour. And trying to leave it a little lighter in the middle, just to keep emphasise that three-dimensional shape. A little darker down there, we go. So it's weird, I was thinking I'm not very keen on this Bristol board paper that I'm using with polychromos, but every other pencil set that I've used on it goes down a treat. Now, this one I quite fancy doing as a vanilla, but actually we've got dots, so I could think, is it a mint choc chip? If it is, I've got no mint in this set, nothing that I could do like mint. So I think if I do it a vanilla colour, and then I could still make those chocolate chips, maybe, or I could maybe make them something else. But we'll get the yellow down first. This is a champagne, it's a really sort of light cream colour. I'm hoping it will work. So I'm just gonna, I think I might have to layer it up because it is quite pale, but that's okay. It'll just take a little bit of time to build up some layers. Now what could this be? You could do it as a rum and raisin. I've never had rum and raisin ice cream. I've got no idea what it would be like. But these are a bit small for raisins, aren't they? It's quite an old-fashioned one as well. I don't know if you can get it anymore. I think alcohol in ice cream, I don't know whether it was actual alcohol or whether it was just flavoured, isn't something you tend to be able to buy just sort of in the by the scoop. I think it's slightly frowned upon selling alcoholic ice cream to children these days, even though when I was a kid it was absolutely fine. As I said, it might have just been a flavouring rather than actual alcohol. I don't really know, nobody I knew ever had it. We always had vanilla. Okay, I think that's enough. For me, I can see that. I still can't decide what to do for those little dots. And we've got quite a generous sauce on the top of this one. I'm thinking if I grab this cherry red for the sauce, we'll use that. And what we'll do with this is we'll put it on quite thickly. These go down quite heavy anyway. And then we can draw some shine on it with a white pen after to make it look like it's really shiny, because I think it would be. It looks, see, if though it's called cherry red, I would think this is the colour of strawberry sauce, but maybe that's just me. I don't see, I think that's more of a cherry colour, whereas black cherry, isn't it? It's what we said it was. I said it was. Sorry, you didn't get much of a say, did you? Oh, I'm in a funny mood today. I haven't had a lot of sleep. Well, my son had both my boys had their first mock exams today, or one of them they'll still be doing now. Yes. So my one boy, he had a geology one this morning, and my other boy didn't have an exam this morning. He stayed home, and they got the bus in at lunchtime. And they both had a maths one this afternoon, but they both got colds. Which is not unusual for, you know, this time of the year. I think I'm going to use a red for those dots, and yeah, let's use the strawberry red. Okay, and just make it look like there might be bits of strawberry in the ice cream. I don't know how odd it's going to look. It might not appeal to you if it doesn't do something you like. I could have done chocolate, but we've got chocolate up there. I just want to do something different. But yeah, as I say, they both got colds, which isn't good. And I'm trying to choose some colours. I'm going to go with this pretty wild lavender. It's quite a light colour for the this sort of cup or whatever it is that's here. I'm going to put more on the edge and less towards the centre to make it look more shapely. You'll see. Yes, so they both got cold, so one of them's just at the sort of sore throat stage. I could hear him snoring last night, which he never snores. So that was him. The other one is at the very runny nose, can't sleep because you can't breathe stage. He was awake till at least midnight, and I was awake as well, as you do as your mother, sitting there thinking, is he stressed about his exam or is it just his cold? So every time he sort of moved, got up, he got up and took a paracetamol, he got up, blew his nose and things like that, I was thinking, is he okay? I didn't want to ask him because I didn't want him to think that there might be a reason that he should be stressed about his exam if he wasn't. But I talked to him about it this morning and he said it was just the cold. But he decided had originally thought about going into college this morning. But he decided he'd just relax at home before his exam and go in a bit later. I think I want this outside piece to be a bit darker. We've got a sort of mix of dark and light on all these, and I think if we do the same here, it will just give it some balance. There's a really pretty violet colour here, which I think we'll use. Yeah, so I'm just looking at what else I've got. Now in here it's going to be a bit darker, so I'm actually going to grab my blue violet and just put a layer of that down first to sort of darken that up a bit. And I'm thinking, just trying to keep it in the lines, maybe here might be a bit of a shadow, and here where we're sort of curved, and under here. It's quite a cute idea, isn't it? This sort of band with the flower tucked in. That might not be enough, but we'll leave that there for now and we can always come back. So here's our violet. I'm going to put a bit on top here. And I'm going to start here. You can see it's slightly lighter, which is the idea, so that's good. There we go. I had a message from a friend this morning on Facebook. It was her birthday and I forgot. So I did send her a card, but it was late. So she sent me a message to thank me, which was kind of her. And she watches The Masked Singer, which I watch as well. She was asking me if I'd guessed any of them yet. I'm rubbish. I'm sure it's getting harder. I know you get Masked Singer in the US. I don't know if you do in all countries. But I'm sure the clues, I'm sure they purposely put clues in to try and lead you to other people, not the people they actually are. So the series has probably ended. Yeah, it would have ended by the time this video goes out anyway. But the clues are so obscure, you know, they tend to, I just got to wipe my nose. I think they purposely try and sort of fool you with a clue that they might say, oh, they put a football there. You think, oh, it's a footballer, but no, it's not a footballer. It's someone that's father was a footballer, or even more obscure, they starred in a TV show with someone who's a football fan, or they I don't know, or they played a celebrity football match once to raise money for Sport Aid or something like that, something so vague, but they just try and lead you in the wrong direction. And of course it makes it fun in a way. You wouldn't want to be able to guess them all really easily, because that would be pretty pretty annoying. You wouldn't want to keep tuning in for more clues, would you? But I think it's a fun show. It's one of those shows that I like because it's just pure fun, pure silliness, no nastiness, no judging, nothing like that. You know, everyone's just having fun, and even if the singers can't sing that well, the panel who are guessing are still really kind to them and about them. They might say, well, you're not a professional singer, but you know, you did really well, we enjoyed your song, whatever it might be. I like it, the sort of positivity of it all. Okay, so we now have a flower to colour. I'm thinking I might go down the blue route just because we can't really do blue candy, so we haven't got a lot of blue on this page. So I'm going to pick a really pretty, there's a really pretty sapphire blue. It needs sharpening. I have to just sharpen it, you have to bear with me a minute. I thought if we do a sapphire blue flower, that'd be nice. Now there's some tip. Just clean it off. It's a bit. There we go. This is that was my Derwent sharpener. I tend to use my Derwent sharpener for these. It's what you're supposed to use according to Derwent. Well, they would say that, wouldn't they? So I'm just going to put down a layer of blue across the whole flower, and then we'll sort of think about where to shade it. I am thinking it would be darker at the bottom. That's what I like anyway. Yeah, it's a fun show. My husband watches it with me too, and he is better at guessing than me. I'm rubbish. He the very first series he got the person who won. I think it was Joss Stone. He guessed her, and I don't know if he's been any good at any of the others. So, but I think it's quite fun. I think it's really fun. Like that first series, no one guessed her. None of the panel. Oops. None of the panel guessed her or got her right. So that was really cool. Whereas sometimes they might guess someone. There we go. Get rid of that. They might guess someone early on and then change their mind, you know, or whatever. But for her, they didn't guess her at all. So that was fun. Okay, now we need a green. I'm quite looking for a, what should we go for? This is quite a pretty looking green. Yeah, I like this one. This is the mallard green. It's quite a bluey green, which I think I like. For this, I'm not going to do it too hard. I don't want it really intense. Like for here, I'm going to do it a little bit darker, more layers on the outside. A bit less towards the middle. I was watching, I like my quizzes as well, in an evening, after tea. So I watch Pointless, which is fun. If you don't know Pointless, the idea is that you try and pick an answer that not many people have said. So they basically ask 100 people each of the questions and see how many got it right, and you have to try and get it right, but pick from a list. There might be, say, 7 questions, and you look at the ones you know the answers to and try and work out which one might have had the least amount of people get it right, and that's the one you pick. So that's quite a fun one. Okay, we have our little piece of ribbon. I'd really like it to be a very pretty pale pink colour. We don't have such a thing in our Lightfast. We have a sort of peachy salmony type colours, but no pale pinks. So, let's try this. It may or may not work. This is the turquoise green. Look at that. I think it'll be a nice mix between blue and green and purple. I think it'll work nicely. I think I can just about get away without sharpening it. There we go. Now we need some white pen. I'm going to use my Posca. So firstly on this, I think those are quite shiny. I might put a tiny bit on the edge of our chocolate like that. I quite fancy making our flower really pretty with some white dots, just to make it sort of look different to the ice cream behind. Like that. I think we can put a little bit of shine on our, whatever this is, paper. Like that, just to make it look a little bit more fun. Yeah, I think that's enough. Just looking and staring. So there we go. So we've got a very shiny little wrapper in a little cup, and then we have our ice cream. I think this is probably, this cup bit, the inside cup is a bit too similar to the ice cream colour really, but because we have a lack of colours, it's a bit tricky. We've got these 3 little dots here. I'm thinking maybe they should be the same colour as these dots here. Now that was the strawberry. So that's what I'm going to do just to finish. I'm going to put it on quite hard because I think I'll put a bit of white on those as well. Oops, going out of the line, as is customary. I think you'd be disappointed if I didn't go out of the lines, wouldn't you? That's my excuse anyway. There we go. So there is our sort of strawberry pudding. We've got some pretzels tomorrow, which is really interesting. I haven't coloured them ever before, so that'll be fun. But for now, I am done with that one. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.